Hey guys, welcome back to Winter Wolf. Stan Winter Wolf over here. Kingsley over there with the thumbs up. Covering Percy Jackson Season 2. It was the finale episode of Season 2, King.
Yes, it was. They finally wrapped up season 2 with some a little bit of surprises and a little bit of stuff that you could foresee that I forgot to mention in our last review of the last episode.
Oh, good lord. Here comes something I wasn't expecting you to go with because I thought it was all pretty it was all laid out nice and neat, and there nothing too surprising. I didn't think.
Oh, no,
What
no,
caught you
nothing
off
too
guard?
surprising. No, nothing caught me off guard. Just last week, something was foreshadowed, and
Oh,
we
yes.
didn't, and we did not bring it
Yeah.
up in our review. So I'm
True.
apologizing to the people that we
Yeah.
did not do our due
Well,
diligence and get the right information out.
Maybe we just weren't spoiling it for everybody. Just saying. Because
Yeah,
I think we've glazed this particular show enough both seasons and encouraged people pause the video, go to Disney Plus, check out the show, have your kids watch it. It's a nice little entry point into mythology and that kind of fiction. I feel like we've done this show a certain dude. We put Robin Hood on MGM Plus on the map. I'm pretty
that's
sure the
right.
spike
We did.
viewership of Percy Jackson is a Winter Wolf's Den phenomenon, dude.
Yep. You heard it here first. We are the trailblazers. We
We're
are the trendsetters.
king makers of streaming shows.
That's right.
Just saying. But I
For I
think
have knighted the net straight show.
I don't know if I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna knight this one, but it was a solid watch. What I think I need to do is turbocharge my read through of this series, bang out the second book, and get book 3 read ahead of time of next season. Because if you stuck
Mhm.
around through the credits on this one, which we know I never do, they've already shot footage for next year. Is this in the can already? Because there's a scene that's there.
Next year. Next
Yeah.
year. No, not next year. The end of this year. It says
No.
so. It said so at
Oh, well,
the end.
I meant next season, of course, this calendar year.
Yes.
I used the wrong word. But I'm saying, so they already have that scene shot. So do we think they just shot that scene, or is they underway?
I think they realized how much these kids grew up in the
Yeah.
year that they took
Yeah.
off before they filmed this season. Is like we need to start doing this. I think they're
Yeah.
already filming the net season.
Yeah, because otherwise they're gonna suffer from Stranger Things-itis on this
Yeah,
one.
that's right. You
'Cause
don't
you
want
can
Percy bringing
massively
his kids to work on this.
I think that's gonna happen because they did age up quite a lot from season 1 to 2, and that teaser scene at the end of this season finale with, Percy and Annabeth at the, like, the dance, the school
Yes.
dance, whatever. Like, Percy Jackson looks like he's 25 years old, like, he's big. Like, he's, like, 6'2" now or something. He's a big dude. Hair's cut all short. I mean, he looks like a grown-ass teenager at this point now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I think they're wise to wanna bang these right out, especially if they wanna do. I mean, were they hopefully planning, a book a season? I don't know, but it's been popular. I have seen some traction and people talk about this show online.
Mhm.
Places like Twitter and Reddit. I don't see a lot of YouTube coverage for this show though. Maybe that's just because it's out of our usual circles of stuff we
Uh,
kind of talk about
yeah.
and consume ourselves.
Well, most of the stuff that we usually watch is more of an adult grade, where this is
Yeah,
more of a
just family friendly stuff for sure.
family friendly, teen,
Yeah.
coming of age type stuff. That's kind of out of our wheelhouses. You know, people in their advanced middle years.
I like to think of them as elite middle years, but whatever you want to do, whatever word you want to use. But yeah, let's talk about the episode before we wander all the way off the track and fall asleep on it. Wrapped up neatly, but I
Yeah.
think this show is always going to wrap up neatly because it has a solid template to follow from the book. If you've read the book series, I don't think you're going to be surprised by what you saw here. When I
Not
went
at
back
all.
and retroactively read book 1, it seemed to follow the series seemed to follow book 1 pretty beat for beat, caught all the major notes. I'm assuming book 2 hit the same way because everything kind of worked on a narrative level. Like I said, I didn't think there were any surprises. I think I got a couple of nitpicks with the episode itself, but nothing by any means derailed my enjoyment of the show or my impression of how it wrapped up.
No, I think it was actually pretty. Like I saw a little of the monster of the week type setting at the
Mhm,
beginning, but I think
mhm.
it wrapped up pretty nicely. It definitely sped up after they had to defeat the sirens. After that, it kind of they hit the gas and it just kind of just flowed after that. And I would say in the last 3 episodes, you could definitely see that. but you're seeing budding friendships. You're seeing stuff that you could that they foreshadowed, and now's coming to attrition.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I like the fact that they were building towards a final battle, and I thought, for a show of this scope, I'll give them credit. They're little Helms deep at Camp Half Blood. I kind of like that scene. I thought the battle they had was kind of frantic, kinetic. There was a lot of
Mm.
choreography going on. It didn't look like any punches were pulled. I saw some sword play in the background, just off center, where like looked like people were getting cut. Not like there wasn't a whole lot of blood and gore or anything like that, but people were definitely taking sword shots that rendered people dead. You know what I mean? So it looked like there was some serious shit going on in there.
Yeah,
So I
I
thought
mean
that battle
it
sequence was
looked
pretty
good.
good.
When you always want to compare a big battle scene, a lot of people go to Helm's Deep, stuff like that, and that which that's the masterclass. That's the ultimate goals here. The bottom of it, we have to go to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And there's that big battle in the arena, and you have two people, extras in the back that are dancing with each other.
For sure,
So,
for sure.
so that and then Helm's Deep. That's your
Yeah,
measure right there. This
I
fell
just
in
meant
about right here.
I
Just a
meant
little bit.
I meant
There's
more
not
like not on a quality level, but on like the aesthetic level where it's like Luke and all his boys show up and the first thing you see is just Percy by himself all armored up on the hilltop. And then of course Tyson rolls up behind him and then the rest of Camp Half-Blood shows up Rohirrim style and you can basically hear the fucking Portals music from Endgame as all the people are showing up duke it out. I'm like, okay. I enjoyed that little fight. But that brings me to like my first nitpick here. We go through all this trouble to get everybody back to camp, and we knew that was going to happen.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't see why Clarisse got off the Pegasus and didn't just fly. Like, I think they tried to explain why she couldn't fly over, but I didn't buy it. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just fly around instead of going the long way around the woods on foot to run into the only 4 people patrolling to get captured or not captured, to have to evade or whatever that nonsense was? That was like a little bit of a nitpick there. And then I said to myself, this is the big nitpick. As I said this last week, I think. So this battle's underway.
Mhm.
Not Dumbledore is insisting the kids just clean up the chariot track because we got to get the races back up. He takes a fireball to the face and he's gone.
Yep.
And I say to myself, where is the rest of the staff at this camp that is under fucking siege?
There is no other staff. There's 2
Why?
people.
Why? There are 157 kids here. What is going on?
Because they're demigods. They're
They're
just
still kids.
Yeah, they don't care about that. You're
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
forgetting
whoa.
the whole premise of what Luke is upset about, is the
Yeah.
gods don't care. The gods are about the gods.
Fair. So we got a whole lot of fuck them kids, welcome to Derry going on here. Then I
Yep.
guess. It just annoyed me, but I did literally laughed out loud when Tantalus took the fireball to the face. And then I think that other kid even said it when Percy gets back, when he gets captured, he says the kid, take us to Tantalus. And the kid that captured him's like, took a fireball to the face during the battle.
Yeah, he's
Like,
done.
yeah, he kind of did. He got one shot. He got yeeted right out of the show.
Right after his curse got lifted.
I know, which was okay. And again, that was pretty good. I did enjoy that. Give me some highs and lows of the show for you. Like, I know you're digging the performances of all the kids, and that goes without saying. Like, they're all doing a pretty good job.
One of the things I liked was Percy is still not at the level to beat Luke.
Yeah, can't one-on-one him.
No,
Not in a full-on battle.
he
Had him
he,
dead to rights here again. Couldn't pull it off.
yeah, he finally like disarmed him, but then he
Yeah.
just got beat up to the
Oh, dude,
face.
I
Dude
thought
got
he was in some
rocked.
shit. Dude, I thought he was in some shit because we were just talking about Mortal Kombat coming out in May. I was picturing in my head when that scene went down, you know, the X-ray attacks in the newest combat games where like you take that ultra hard shot and it suddenly gives you the X-ray view of what's going on internally. Like I'm picturing his face bones being broken as Luke literally fucking clocks him like what 8 times in a row. Like
Yeah, he just straight like whips his ass.
Oh yeah, he beat him bloody. And
Yeah.
I'm like into like the high pitch flashbang sound.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put like little birds and stars floating around Percy's head.
They might have needed it. But then we see from right off that point, a child of the big 3 makes the decision or intervenes. Like that is that not what that prophecy meant? That it was Tyson that showed up and he'll be the one deciding the kind of fate because he saved Percy and he's going to go work for Poseidon at the end. That's not how that went down.
No.
It
They
was about Thalia still?
it's about Thalius or Percy.
See, I thought the whole point of that was the prophecy's never exactly what it says to be, and that because Tyson is also a kid of the big three, his intervention to save Percy's life and then his choice to go work for Poseidon in the Forges is what's going to decide the fate. That was my take on that.
I
I read
think
that differently, I think.
because because I don't think Tyson is a full demigod because he's a mixed with the Titan.
Oh, true. He's not technically. Oh, that's right. You're right, dude. Because he needed to be given permission to enter camp in the first place. Good
Mhm.
point. Great point. I forgot all about that because I bought into the whole brother thing from minute one because I like the character. I really do. He's very he's earnest. You know what I mean? Like I like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I
So
like that little bit at the end where he's talking about I prayed for a friend and I got a brother. Like, dude, that got me.
yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, that whole conversation kind of, and I like the conversation. That's after the return of Thalia. Thalia
Yeah,
was still in mid form of her last battle, which Chiron told us
the
the full
truth.
story, the true
Yeah.
story.
Solid. Nice little gods are cruel thing again.
Yeah,
So I mean that's kind of that's right there was the motivator for me to want to pick up the third book ahead of the season because I'm actually interested in knowing like is she throwing hands and then escaping camp? Like what happens? I want to know what happens next. I want to know what the next 10 minutes are right from there.
yeah. You get to
You know?
you get to figure out what side she's going to decide, and you're pretty
Right.
much you're shaping it up where it's going to be her versus Percy.
Clearly. But I want to see how they get there because they're in the same place now. You know what I
And
mean? Like where do we go? How do we get there?
And
You
then
know?
like Percy trying to explain like choosing between two people, and it's like Annabelle's been going through this the whole time.
Right.
She had to choose between you and Luke. Now she has to
Yeah.
choose between you and Thalia. So
Yeah.
you have no idea how hard it is. I'm like, dude, you are
Hot
completely not
kettle.
yeah, not buying into this and paying attention at all.
Right. Right. Yeah, for sure. I like that they did also follow up after the battle. Um, Clarisse and Percy are uneven allies, as we say. They have their nice little, I couldn't have done this without you. They, like all that, the things unsaid. And then he realizes she's uncomfortable, and he goes, "Like, could you just give me a shut up, Jackson, and get out of here?" And she's like, "Shut up, Jackson." But she's
Yeah.
faint smile. It's like it's in there. You can see it in her eyes. That particular that actress is good at that smile with the eyes, with the straight mouth move. She can hit that note.
Yeah,
I
and the
like her.
whole thing's like where she's being called out by the dude who was the traitor, and she gets he's like, "Who's gonna come and save you? You ain't got no friends." And he
That
goes
was
to
cold.
and she
Yep.
goes, "Maybe I do now." And then you see the chariot come with
Chariot.
Grover and
Yeah.
Annabelle driving
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That was solid, and you knew that was coming. His cold blooded line was an obvious setup that was coming right there.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was earned because she has done a complete. And she's probably the best character this season. I think, like gone through the most growth. Tyson is who he is from start to finish, and I like him the most, just because I like that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
she's done like the character arc, the development, the
yeah.
turnaround in her personality, which is good, which is nice. So she'll be
Yeah,
hopefully not as prominent next year, and they move on to something else. Hopefully,
and the reason why I like the whole Luke still has the upper hand on
yeah,
Percy over this is that you need that growth. I mean, if you understand how to write a fighting story, let's take WWE into effect here. To write a good match, the heel. 'Cause everyone wants the face to win. That's what you call the good guy in wrestling. You have the
clearly,
face and the heel.
yeah,
So, but the heel has to beat him down. So you have these moments. You have the initial setup, then you have the high spot, then you go into the beat down, you see the rally, then you see the cutoff, and then you see that repeated until the point where he gets the hero has to get the upper hand based on whatever time limit they set for this match. So they set up the spots this way on purpose to tell that story. That's what all wrestling is them telling a story just like they
mm,
did here, and they're using the same type of beats where he has the rally, he disarms him, and then he gets beat down and he gets the cutoff. It's like right before the hot tag in a tag team
right,
match.
right, right.
So this is it's a great way to tell a story by fighting instead of them just having a war of words, and then all of a sudden Percy's just better than him at the sword. Then
Right.
He is.
Which should never be the case because Luke's like 5 years older than he is and has been at camp way longer than he has been and has trained
He
way longer.
he still
We
has
would
to
marry
level
Sue
up.
Percy. Right. We would marry Sue Percy in a heartbeat if that went the other way. Like if Luke didn't hand him the ass kicking of a lifetime in this episode, it
He'll
wouldn't
remember
have
that.
felt right. Oh
He'll
yeah,
he'll
yeah, yeah.
remember that beatdown.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna remember the fact that his half demigod, half cyclops, half titan brother showed up and fucking shoulder rammed Luke into the next zip code though after the save. That was a great hit. You know, he laid it on. But then again, that dude body blowed Polyphemus an episode ago. So if he
Yeah.
couldn't hand Luke his ass, I'd be like, what's going on here?
Spear,
It was
spear.
crazy. He got him. Imagine if he picked him up into the jackhammer and just like laid him into the ground. That'd have been sick. I'd have been with that. But yeah, I think outside of those couple nitpicks, I think again this is it's a straight shot. This show, there's nothing terribly surprising. If you've read anything at all in genre, you're gonna follow this along easily. It deals heavily in archetypes. There's not a lot of deep cut motif or symbolism.
There's not a big twist that you have to worry
No,
about. It's pretty straightforward
yeah,
storytelling.
because I mean it is written the grade level. I think the books are written for like third, fourth grade ish, maybe even probably third or fourth grade, like getting into middle grade. And
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
even
it
it's not
ages
even
up
wa-
over
it's,
time.
yeah, it's not YA. It's
No,
even
not even
YA.
close. Not even close. I think the first 2 or 3 books of this are going to be exactly like the first 2 or 3 books of Harry Potter, given the age of those characters. But if it grows up over time, good. You know, it makes the overarching story more compelling to see how these
Mm.
kids change over time, to see how they deal with things going forward. So I think that'll work there. I think that let me pick your brain on this last nitpick I had though. So Clarisse shows up. She's got the fleece. She runs into her friend that was a previous chariot partner in like episode 1 or whatever.
Mhm.
And he goes through this whole big rigmarole to turn heel on her and then kill 3 of the other people he was with because they're the traitors that were inside the camp the whole time. And I'm like, when you saw this chick, why didn't you just initiate the plan then to kill her and take the fleece? Like, what was the point of walking through the woods for an hour and a half before turning? Like, what was the point?
I don't know the purpose of it other than to kill time.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
But
it's like I feel like we're stretching this out here a little bit.
there were people among them that were not traitors.
Well, right, that's the same. And then he issued the command, and then when he was checking out that one girl's bow who wasn't the traitor, like 3 of his other cronies killed her 3 friends, and then they chased Clarisse. I'm like, why didn't this dude just have like a I tap my head 3 times signal and fucking you guys just knife everybody, and then we just go get the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you said,
I just think that wasn't well
moment.
thought out. Because first they're
Yeah.
trying to get her bow from her, and then they just kind of took her at that point when she's like,
Right.
"What are
I'm
you
like,
talking about? You're a traitor!" And then
a little foreshadowing that I mean, they did mention there was he was actually the kid that said there's a traitor in the camp. And I think he said that a couple of episodes ago as well. Like there was the rumor that there's a traitor in the camp going around. So maybe they did foreshadow that. I might have just forgot. True. But I thought that was just a little odd. I'm like, okay, this seems a bit extra. But all right, whatevs.
And they also had
Good
they had a good callback though to the first episode where Clarisse throws the spear and like kills one of the giants.
Yep.
And now she had to throw the spear to heal the tree.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think I have a plot confusion point that I need you to, as you do, clear up for me. If the entire point of Kronos's plan was to kill the tree, to get the barrier down, so they could wipe out the camp, did they then abandon that and then have the fleece heal the tree? Because that would heal Thalia and reveal his champion? Because if that was the case, then why was Luke trying to fleece the sarcophagus at all to free? Like it seems like they had 2 different conflicting things they were trying to do that the bad guys were trying to do. I mean, with the fleece.
So I think the where he was fleecing the sarcophagus, that was his plan. That wasn't Kronos telling him that one.
That was Luke's own interpretation of what to do. Okay.
Yeah, I think Kronos was playing 3D chess while Luke is playing like checkers right now.
Okay.
And Percy's playing catch up because of course he doesn't know the plan. I think Kronos knew his champion was in that tree. Well, supposedly, because she hasn't made her choice yet. But he needed the Golden Fleece. So he had Luke go poison the tree, as they say that they're going to go raid the camp because, they have a lot of hotheads on that team, especially his female second there. She kind of
Okay.
Allison, I think her name is.
Luke's second? Yeah, Allison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's the hothead who wants to fight.
Right.
So he's using that as well as trying to play the camp to get the quest, to get the Golden Fleece on the tree to revive his thing, his champion Thalia. But Luke didn't get that part of the plan until he had a mind blast them there, and told him to go kill Percy and they go raid the camp because he knew it would get the tree would come down and then get
Right.
healed, and then he also has the permission because he's a demigod, he can invite people in.
All right, then let me ask you this then. Why didn't Kronos just send Luke and his team after the fleece directly?
Because he didn't know where it was.
Oh, that's right. It was hidden, and Grover had to tell Percy where it was
Mm-hmm.
on Polyphemus' Island. Okay, I've been trying to. I don't know why I wasn't able to sort that out, but over the last couple of days, I was like, if you knew it was there, why wouldn't you just have gone and got it without raising any attention at all, and then just shown up, portal yourself into camp like we know you can do, because we know Luke can do that with the sword. He can portal anywhere he
Once a
wants.
day.
Right. It's got it's a 1d10 chance of not working or something too. I don't know. And then just do that. But yeah, you're right. It was probably that it was hidden, and it was only Grover that knew the scent was similar to Pan. That's right.
Well, it was he didn't even didn't even know it was there. Like they were searching for it already.
That's right, because the one up top was the fake one.
Yeah.
That's right. Grover found the real one inside.
And see, Grover was taken by a sea monster, ended up on Polyphemus's island.
Oh, that's
Where
right. That's right.
yeah.
That's how they all knew they were going there.
And
Okay,
then
fine.
he
That
saw
that
the
all irons
fleece
out.
and told,
Right.
and then kind of like that kind of just all kind of just played out.
Right. He if I remember right, he gave Percy the coordinates. There was numbers involved, and Clarisse got a hold of the wrong numbers and then figured out the right. That's right. That was all very early in the season, so I'd forgotten about that. But give me some final thoughts on this on the episode in the season, so we can wrap this one up and move on to Fallout. There's a lot to talk about there.
It's like saying goodbye to a couple of friends, but I know I'll see them again this year, so that's kind of nice. That's at the very end of the credits. I think they did a good job. I think they really did a good job of trying to adapt this book into a visual format that is enjoyable, that tells the same story, yet you can't really adapt the entire book word for word.
Right.
So I think they did a great job of adapting what they could into a visual format, other than because you can't put voiceover for thoughts is such a lazy thing to do unless it's a plot driven version of it. Like the whole thing is like their memory. That
Right.
I can forgive voiceover. But if it's just them walking and then you have like voiceover their thoughts or they're walking through the woods, that is such amateur hour. It's just
That'd be really boring to
Yeah.
watch on top of it too. That's a whole lot of telling, not showing at that point.
Yeah, and I had someone who wanted me to work on a film, and that was pretty much a lot of the film was her voiceover of what she's thinking, why she's doing stuff, and I'm like, "No, this is bad."
Yep. Maybe go back and redraft that. Maybe run that by some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that sounds about right. I like what you said though, that it feels like saying goodbye to a couple friends. I look at it like it's usually a good chunk of time in between where I see a couple family members that have had kids, and every next time I see them, they're a little older, a little bit more grown up. So it feels kind of like that. That the next time we're going to check in on these kids, they're going to be in like junior high or high school or whichever. And the last time you saw them was like 6th grade or something like that.
Mhm.
It'll be fun to check back in with them at the end of 2026 for that third book. And I think like you were saying about adapting books to screens, I feel like these first two did their books justice. I think whoever's in charge of picking those main beats that they have to hit from the book have done a pretty good job. But again, I think the plots themselves are super simplistic. So this isn't Lord of the Rings.
No, not at
probably
all.
not a lot that they're accidentally going to leave out that are going to piss people off. You know what I mean? Like there's these are 350 page books written for 12-year-olds. Like, there's probably a fairly straightforward outline of the book that they can follow, on Spark Notes or something, and kind of hit it. But I think they're showing enough attention to the core concepts. They're treating it with enough respect that I think people would be happy
Yeah.
to keep continuing with the series. So
It's
I'll give it my thumbs up.
it's a it's a fun story. Just go and just enjoy it. Don't try to analyze it. Don't try to read too much into it. It's just a simple, straightforward story, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, for real. I think I would agree. So I think that's going to do it for us and Percy Jackson season 2. That was pretty solid. I would recommend you guys go check it out on Disney Plus and buckle up. Maybe get that box set for your kids, and get ready for season 3. But until next time, we'll see you next time. There you go. That's a nice little ending.